NASCAR is changing, and this is why, and this is how. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy, Decaf Dr. Thunder, here back again, and today we're going to be talking more about some real-life NASCAR stuff because I know you guys liked it the last time we talked about it with the playoff predictions, and so we're back here today. And we got a lot to talk about today, so make sure you leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And yeah, it'll really help me out here. We're on the road to 200 subs. We're really close, and yeah, maybe you could be the one to push us over, so make sure you do that. But basically what we're talking about here today is why and how there are being changes made in NASCAR, both intentionally and unintentionally, and how I think that this will better the sport in the long run, despite maybe ruffling some feathers at the moment right now. We're not going to be talking about any, really sensitive issues or anything like that. We're just going to be talking about the actual on-track sport and, what it kind of does. So, we'll get into it here. I'm very excited to talk about this because it's actually a pretty happy video, to be honest. Now, to start us off with a little bit of a story here, I remember when I was a little kid, I would sit down and I would watch. This is how I got into NASCAR. I'm not kidding. I would watch Cars every single day. Like that movie Cars, with Lightning McQueen. I would watch that all the time. And it got me into the actual sport of NASCAR. And ever since I was little, I've really liked NASCAR. And I'm a sophomore in high school now. I actually started school today. And basically in the middle school years, I kind of got off it. I wasn't very into it and all that stuff. And now I've really come back better than ever, and I'm starting to, fully understand the sport and really, really get into it. And this channel has really helped me do that. But I would watch Cars when I was little all the time. So Cars 2 came out. Obviously, that movie was whack. But then Cars 3 came out. And if you guys have seen this movie, you probably know exactly what I'm talking about. It's actually kind of all over Instagram right now. But it's kind of what's happening in real life, Lightning McQueen is basically Jimmy Johnson in that movie, and like Jackson Storm is some of the younger guys, William Byron. Like, the older guys are kind of getting, they're leaving or they're getting pushed out a little bit in favor of the new guys. And it's interesting to see because I used to be a diehard Dale Jr. fan, and he's gone. And now I'm kind of stuck without a favorite. But in this year of watching, there have definitely been people that have been built up to the point where I could see myself absolutely cheering for them. William Byron. Some of the rookies, Cole Custer, even Eric Jones, Chase Elliott, of course, Tyler Reddick, all those guys. They're going to be future stars, and I think that's really good for the sport. It kind of injects life a little bit, you know what I'm saying? I'm a huge Hendrick Motorsports fan. Dale Jr., Jeff Gordon, Jimmy Johnson, Mark Martin, if you're going to go back that far, they're all gone now in favor of newer, younger guys. And in the long term, I think that this could work out because we're kind of building up stars a little bit. Especially, even this season, you can really see it coming out. These younger guys are getting bigger and better, and I think it's awesome, You still got the older guys, obviously Kevin Harvick, Denny Hamlin, Brad Keselowski, they're all showing out, but you really have this newer, younger generation of talent showing up. And I think that in the long term is going to be really, really good for the sport, honestly. Part of the reason that I'm making this video, there are three main reasons, my inspirations for making this video. Number one, the kind of NASCAR trend on Instagram where it's showing the skins of Jimmy Johnson and William Byron as the people in Cars 3. That kind of sparked this video. Number two, I made a meme about it on my Instagram. Go follow it at Decaf Dr. Thunder. And number three, this is the big one, of course. William Byron edging out, Jimmy Johnson and getting his first win. And William Byron and Alex Bowman specifically, I feel like are great, great examples of this. I feel like this trend is exemplified extremely well in Hendrick Motorsports because Chase Elliott, William Byron, and Alex Bowman have all been fairly successful in their careers. William Byron was a little bit sketchy up until this Sunday. I feel like kind of solidifies him a little bit. He's been sketchy some weeks, he's not very consistent yet, but if he can get a little bit more consistent, I think he would be a top performer. And he's still young is the thing. He's getting there. Like, these guys are coming in and they're doing decent, like, I got a ton of flack for a meme that I posted the other day about Cole Custer getting a fluke win. Now, I will say, I do think that was a fluke. However, Cole Custer has been running phenomenally. I think Cole Custer has, honestly, generational talent. Another huge one, and I know this is a touchy subject, but he'll probably be back, Kyle Larson. He had, regardless of what you think of him, he was a young guy with an extreme amount of talent. He was, it's so sad that he made a big mistake because he was a generational talent for sure. He was on the rise fast, and I would have loved to see what he can do. He probably will be back next year, I would think, but maybe not in as good of a ride. We'll have to see. Just, like, you look at what Kyle Larson was doing in that 42, and then Matt Kenseth came back, an older guy, and you can just compare, Kyle Larson was doing much better, and I feel like that's the overall trend. The younger guys are coming in, kind of pushing out the older guys a little bit. And, 2022, we're getting the Gen 7 car, and, like, it's looking pretty good. There's going to be huge changes made in NASCAR with this. It looks completely different. It probably drives completely different. And the big change that has kind of, gone quiet a little bit with the news that it's not coming next year and all this stuff, they're going to single lug nuts instead of 5, which is a massive, massive, massive change for the motorsport. It's making it more a little bit like F1 or that kind of stuff. Pit stops are going to be extremely shortened, and it'll just be interesting to see, like, big, big, big changes are coming with NASCAR, and I, for one, am extremely excited. It's no secret, that since around 2005, NASCAR has been declining in popularity. And honestly, I feel like this season, maybe it's just personal because I frankly came back to NASCAR around the end of last season, maybe towards the middle of last season, but the later half. I feel like this season could be the turnaround, or next season, I feel like we're right on the cusp, and I think that just snap like that, it's gonna, I think we're on the rise. I really do, and I'm very, very excited to see it because there's just so much. People like to trash talk NASCAR, and people like to talk crap about NASCAR who don't watch NASCAR, but it's one of those things, if you sit down and you give it a chance, like a real chance, and you start to learn, and you kind of get into it a little bit, it grows on you fast. It's like a drug, how can you, if you know about NASCAR, how can you not like NASCAR? It's so good. It's one of the most patriotic sports. I love that, like, just, it's awesome, you get there, you get a nice little prayer, you get a nice national anthem, they thank the troops, they thank the frontline workers, even, and they can work a healthy balance, obviously, they're doing everything they can to support Bubba, which is awesome, we need more diversity, but they're still patriotic, and they still hold true to their values, and I think that's awesome. And a lot of people are like, well, the culture around NASCAR is changing and they're gonna betray their American roots and all this stuff, and they're not. They're absolutely not. They're doing what has to be done to kind of, modernize NASCAR and bring it more into the limelight and be more accepting and all this stuff, but they're not betraying their roots, and I love that about NASCAR. Things are going to change about NASCAR, absolutely. Within 2030, NASCAR is not going to be the same sport that it is right now. It's not going to be completely different, but it's not going to be exactly the same either. And I think that's okay. A lot of people are so, not ready for change. And it's got to be done, honestly. And NASCAR is doing a phenomenal job. Ever since Brian France left, things are going spectacularly. NASCAR's on the rise, ladies and gentlemen. We're coming back. And you can mark my words on that. So, thank you so much for watching. This has just kind of been my thoughts, I guess. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. And, yeah, other than that, I hope you guys are having a blessed and safe day. Live life to the fullest. And I will see you guys next time.